What's going on, guys? JT Bedlets here with another episode of Farming Sim Nighttime. And I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but today we're going to talk about a little topic. Wow, excuse me. And that topic is emergency vehicles and all that goody good stuff. Now, I don't know if it's just because people are so self-centered, or they're so entitled, or think they're entitled, or what the situation is. But you know, I remember when I first got my driver's license. Well, hell, to be actually honest, I knew before I got my license that when you see an emergency vehicle, or even hear emergency vehicle, you know, whether you see the lights or hear the sirens or, you know, them honking the horn, you pulled over. Didn't matter where you were at, what was going on, you know, you paid attention, you pulled over. With that being said, do they not teach that shit no more? Because, for instance, yesterday we were working, and I don't know what happened, whether it was a car accident or, you know, what the situation may be. But we were out working the street, and a cop was coming. You know, lights going on, sirens, you know, honking the horn, this and that. And I just couldn't believe, with all that going on, people were pulling out in front of this cop, not paying attention, would not stop. I mean, I just couldn't believe it, you know. I couldn't believe it at all. And in fact, it was so bad that the cop actually just about hit somebody because, you know, they decided to go through the intersection. Now, I don't know about anywhere else, but I know here in Missouri you can actually get in a lot of trouble for that, for not pulling over for an emergency vehicle. And I believe it's a law in all 50 states, but I could be wrong. I could, maybe, I don't know. I know, you know, they have the move over laws, which, you know, surprisingly has no effect on people because, you know, even with emergency vehicles on the side of the road, or, you know, utility trucks or tow trucks on the side of the road, how many people still don't, you know, move over or slow down? Which, you know, I've already done a video on that. I won't go back into that. But, you know, like I know here in Missouri, and not that I've ever seen, you know, people get the ticket or anything like that, but if I remember right, it's a pretty good size fine for not doing that. Like I said, it just astonishes me how many people wouldn't even stop, wouldn't even slow down, wouldn't even try to get out of the, you know, the cop's way. And it pisses me off because, you know, it's shit like, and I see it a lot with ambulances. Ambulances, I see it all the time. And it pisses me off because, you know, what's funny is the people that are running through those, you know, lights and holding ambulances up, especially ambulances, are the same people that if somebody did it to their loved ones who was in an ambulance getting rushed to the hospital, you know, possibly fighting for their life to live, and, you know, these ambulance and paramedics are trying to get this person to the hospital to get the care that they need to possibly live. You know, when, you know, they'd be bitching. They would straight up be bitching, throwing a fit that nobody pulled over or got out of the way. And they're the same motherfuckers that are doing it to somebody else. I mean, it's not that hard, guys. You know, you see lights or you hear sirens, you know, first look, you know, look through your mirrors, look, you know, in front of you, look to the side. If you see them or hear them, start slowing down, stop. You know, especially if you're at an intersection where you're supposed to be looking and you see lights right there, you might want to stop and not pull out in front of a cop or a paramedic or a firefighter. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe you guys can give me some info. Maybe they changed laws. I don't know. But for one, not only is it a law, it's common courtesy, people. I mean, it really is. It's common courtesy. You know, these vehicles have lights and sirens for a purpose. And that's so they can get where they need to go as fast as possible. And the worst part is, back in the day, you'd always see people pull over and stop. But now you see on the news all the time of how many wrecks are involved with emergency vehicles because they didn't stop or slow down or even paid attention. I remember one time we were coming back from Kansas City and there was an ambulance flying down the road, lights, sirens, all that good stuff. And of course, I pulled over to the side, started slowing down. Of course, he, going fast enough, he passed me in no time. But it was amazing how many people wouldn't get out of the way. It was so bad that they actually had to take an exit ramp off the highway, go through the intersection and back down the exit ramp, the entry ramp, just to get back on the highway, just to pass everybody. Because nobody would get out of the way. Not a single person. And this is how else bad it is. There was a bad wreck on 29 down by Kansas City. They had a fly-in life flight. That bad. Bringing in a helicopter. They got the highway shut down. For one, not only because the wreck took literally the entire highway up. I think I missed that spot. Oh, nope. Not only because literally there was car parts and stuff scattered all over the highway, but, also for the safety of, first responders and all that, but also to land a fucking helicopter on the highway so they can get this person. And I couldn't believe how many people were going around cop cars or trying to go around the cop cars that were blocking the highway. And it just, I don't know, I guess it's sad. It's more sad than pathetic. Well, it is pathetic. I guess it's just so sad and pathetic that so many people think they're entitled to do whatever they want, however they want. And of course, the worst part is sadly, I don't think people get punished, enough for it because, what are they going to do? The cop, like for instance, the cop was going to, wreck or, whatever, robbery, who knows? But, he's got to go deal with that, it's not like he could just stop and go write the guy a ticket for, not stopping, pulling over for an emergency vehicle. And, by the time he, it's not like he could call it in either, because by the time he calls it in, who knows where that vehicle went to. But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's bad. And it just seems like it keeps getting worse and worse. Especially with the younger drivers. These kids come in. And for one, I think it's funny because most of these kids think they're the best drivers in the world. And I can tell you right now that is far from the case. Everybody always thinks old people are the worst drivers in the world. No. These kids nowadays are the worst drivers I've ever seen in my entire life. For one, they can't put down a cell phone. And that's, and that's part of the problem right there why people don't stop, pull over, because they're too busy texting or, Snapchatting or selfies and all that bullshit. That, they don't feel the need to pull over. And, now if you're a first responder and you're listening to this, I apologize for all the idiots out there that y'all got to deal with. As a lot of y'all know, I work for the city, and working for the city, I do work with the police department. I work with cops a lot. I work with firefighters a lot. I don't really work too much with paramedics, per se. I've dealt with them a time or two, and talked with them a time or two, but I don't really deal with them, so I mainly just talk to police officers and firefighters. And, some of the stories they tell me about, people not pulling over and how they almost caused wrecks and stuff like that, it just amazes me. It really does. Because, especially, I don't know, as far as driving a fire truck, I don't know. But I know, like, the cops here, that, of course, they do driver training. They train a lot. And one reason I know that is because we bring the cones for them to set up course for their training. So I know they train on driving scenarios and stuff like that. And I know they're taught, how to, when they're driving to an emergency stuff, how to do things a certain way. But the bad thing is, like a lot of them said, it's one thing when you train, but it's another because, they're trained as far as people pulling over. But when they don't, and you don't know what these people are going to do, especially the idiots in this town, it turns it into a dangerous situation. Because what people don't understand is, not only are they putting, whoever's life at risk that these, first responders are going to deal with, or, the scenario, but they're putting their own lives in risk. They're putting the first responders' life in risk. They're putting everybody else's life in risk. And for what? Because you feel like you shouldn't have to pull over or stop for emergency vehicles? I mean, it's like I said, it's pathetic. But, yep, that's my rant for the day. Like I said, I seen it yesterday. I saw it today. It wasn't as bad of a scenario. There was a couple ambulances coming down the road where we were working, painting that today, and there was one idiot that tried. I think he was going to do it until he realized that the ambulance was a lot closer than he thought, and he wasn't going to make it without getting into a wreck, and that was the only reason he stopped. But after seeing those two, it just, like I said, it astonishes me just how stupid people are nowadays. And like I said, the worst part is people do it all the time. But if it was done to their loved one or to themselves while they're riding the back of an ambulance, fighting for their life or some, or in agonizing pain, they'd be pissed off. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry for the rant. I just had to get it off my chest. I don't really expect nothing out of it, but maybe hopefully you guys will learn. Or, that have your license, maybe, you'll sit back and realize, hey, JT's right, we should probably pull over for paramedics. Or for those of you that haven't got your license, but someday will get your license, hopefully you'll remember this video and be like, you know what? If we see license sirens, we should pull over. That's basically what this video is about. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a video because I'm tired, I'm hot, I'm dirty, more than one way, I'm starving. So, yeah, we're going to call a video here, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you want to know anytime I post a video or go live with the live stream, make sure the bell symbol next to my subscribe button. I'll notify you when I do either one. As well as going to my Facebook page, Outcast Posse's Facebook page, which links to those in the description below. Wow, I about screwed that. I told you I'm tired. As well, wow, I screwed up. As well as everybody's YouTube channel, everybody's Twitch channel. So make sure you check everybody else out. They're always posting some badass shit. But until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later. Peace!